DemonMama is sticking to the law here. Very smart, very smart. Why didn't Thorn know the age? Why didn't you have an eye on that? Right, where they think they can do a better job than everyone else. So they think that they're the safest place. You've not done any of the work on that, so this would fall apart. And here we are, a little bit of scrutiny, a little bit of response from DemonMama, and it's so much weaker. But now all of a sudden we care about obsessive drama channels that use everything for content. So, guys, as we know, as we're surely following, just a month ago, Westside Tyler released a video that was primarily an interview with a user named Glooby, who had been in and around DemonMama's community for many years. Glooby met DemonMama on Overwatch when Glooby was about 13 or 14, I think. And they sort of had a loose Discord friendship for several years. Until eventually Glooby became... I don't know what year in, but eventually Glooby became the thumbnail artist for DemonMama's channel. After a while, Glooby quits, and then very recently Glooby has come out saying that not only was Glooby a victim of wage theft and numerous other things that would be really bad for a communist to do, but also a victim of like grooming or something akin to grooming, some kind of sexual interaction, sexual preparation between an adult and a minor. Because Fawn, one of DemonMama's partners, one of the petting zoo polycule, one of the members of the animal farm, was sending horse ass to this child. Drawn horse, in fact. Drawn horse from behind. To a minor. To a minor. There was also a claim that on a voice chat, not a voice chat, a video call, Fawn displayed some sex toys to the camera. And DemonMama said, oh, stop that, sort of thing, but never really stepped in. That was another claim. So, let's take a look. Let's see what DemonMama's got to say about this grooming drama. Now, you'll also remember, actually, just to refresh your memory quickly, President Sunday and Westside Tyler had a massive falling out over this video because President Sunday had criticisms for Tyler over the way he conducted his research, because all he did was interview Glooby and record the interview Glooby and record the interview. He didn't really do any extra research. He didn't go and look for screenshots or corroborating evidence. He just sort of posted the interview, and that was basically it. So let's go. Let's take a look.
Hello, everyone. The harassment me, my family, and my friends have experienced over the last few weeks has been nothing short of insane. I will not be responding to violent serial liars, drama farmers, or harassers whatsoever. However, after much consideration, I will address this subject one time, for the benefit of those within my community who are asking in good faith, as I have seen that there are genuine members of my community with concerns that I would like to put to rest.
Okay, sorry, before we get further into this, isn't the pre-recorded narrative cope? Didn't he do cameos? It may be. I don't know. I haven't seen that. But if that's the case, that's even more insane, right? If he lost all that weight in 7 months, that's crazy. No? That's fucking crazy. That's what, 250 pounds in 7 months?
The communities harassing me and my family have falsely accused me of crimes, doxed me, and made threats against the lives of myself, my friends, and members of my family. The perpetrators of this campaign have absolutely no evidence of any of their so-called allegations, and they know this, because none of what they are alleging happened at all.
Okay. I don't like willing out the harassment thing. However, I think we probably don't need proof of the harassment. There's probably been something that could be characterized as harassment. We could probably give her that one. It's probably happened. Okay? And not just that, but Tyler did, for no reason, flash her LinkedIn up on screen in the first 2 minutes of his video.
The perpetrators of this campaign have absolutely no evidence of any of their so-called allegations, and they know this, because none of what they are alleging happened at all. They rely on vague language and emotionally hypercharged claims to perpetuate outrage and anger. This harassment is exclusively being pushed by drama farming communities who have been asked by their creators to engage in brigading and more in the name of a grudge that is genuinely incomprehensible to me. The only pieces of evidence provided at all, whatsoever, are so grossly misrepresented or deliberately presented without context that they can only serve to create a narrative that is,
Thank you, Q, for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much.
in whole cloth, slanderously false. So let's get the facts straight. The claims.
All right, so slanderously false. Big claims, big claims. Let's see.
Against Fawn, my partner. A former thumbnailer for my channel by the name of Glooby shared his own cartoon not safe for work artwork with my partner Fawn and asked Fawn to share its own artwork in return. In the past, Glooby had unprompted sent me his own art.
Okay, here's my thing, right? This is like a dog shit excuse saying the kid sent NSFW first and was asking for it back.
Which include...
Whoops, shit. That is a dog shit excuse, but that's about Fawn. Right? Like, Fawn isn't a content creator. My judgment of DemonMama is dependent on how much DemonMama knew about Fawn's interactions and, like, what DemonMama did about it, you know? I don't hold DemonMama responsible for Fawn's actions outside of the things that DemonMama reasonably could have done or should have done to maintain Glooby's safety, right? So DemonMama giving this like kind of lame excuse about why Fawn thought it was okay to share the art, like while it's a lame excuse, I don't really see it as very relevant to DemonMama.
Cartoon, vaguely not safe for work elements. One was literally a joke drawing of an emoji with a cartoon penis, for example. I told him not to send that kind of art at all, as it was both unwanted and unethical, and I reinforced that boundary multiple times. While I was happy to be supportive of his aspirations as an artist, I stayed firm in my boundaries. Let me show you. Here, Glooby wanted to share a not safe for work animation that he made. I refused this after asking him if he had turned 18. I asked him this because I had previously in a voice call asked him not to send not safe for work when sharing his art.
Okay, let's read these messages. I learned how to animate in Clip Studio. I don't know if you want to see it because it's NSFW, but for the first time, I think it's alright. What you mean? You want to see the NSFW animation I did for the first time in new program? I'm learning how to use it, but I think I did it alright. Wait, are you 18 now? No, not yet, so I probably can't. Sorry, I know I'm weird about this, but you know, weird shit happens. That's fair. I mean, this is setting a boundary. Obviously, I would, you know, me personally, I would prefer that people just didn't hang around with kids online. But I would not, this helps to dispel any narrative that DemonMama herself was an active groomer. Because if DemonMama is consistently setting boundaries and saying, no, look, you can't do that, we can't be engaging that way, don't introduce sexual things into the conversation, that's like, we can then probably say DemonMama was not taking active steps to groom this child. Like, this isn't someone sitting there waiting. This isn't predating. What in these DMs, unless there's more that Glooby's got that show this happening, this is not DemonMama predating. This is the opposite. This is DemonMama saying, no, chill, don't do that.
Once again, I was supportive of his art career, but was not comfortable with him sharing all of his drawings. Then, despite me setting boundaries...
The thing that needs to be said, though, okay, this is like, these sorts of interactions are exactly why you do not have kids around. Because they will want to engage like the adults around them. They inevitably are going to want to do that, and they're going to start trying to find ways to do that. So let's take a look at this. So Glooby says, It's Peridot from SU. Peridot from, I assume it's Steven Universe. I'm proud of it. Also, for future reference, I'm the legal age in my state, so I can send NSFW art without the worry of getting the feds on you. That's not how that works. That's not how those laws work. It's a federal law, and it's about under 18s. It would be because any communication. Okay, whatever. Look, the kid doesn't understand age of consent. It's fine. DemonMama says, "Damn, Glooby, this is good." :O. Ooh. I have animated the horny, and I'm proud of it. And some emoji. Hell yeah. I still don't want to risk you sending anything strongly NSFW until you turn 18. So I assume this is what is being referred to as soft NSFW. I assume. Right? Given that we're... How long ago is this? Oh no, maybe not. There's quite a few days. But this is sticking to the law. This does seem to be sticking to the law. I believe it's... What's the law again? It's got to be obscene... and something else. It's obscene or something else. So I think you would probably... DemonMama is sticking to the law here. Very smart, very smart. Because we live in different states. I wouldn't want to tread on any federal limits in these times. Very smart. No offense, I just got to take such precautions these days. I'm incredibly proud of the work you do. So these days, that's a concerning one. Does that mean there's been more sort of inappropriate interactions earlier in the relationship? But I mean, see, you can say that implies that there's been an inappropriate interaction earlier in the relationship. But Glooby didn't seem to allege that. And Glooby hasn't shown that. Like, what we're meant to take from that? We can't really just allege that there's other instances without them being alleged by either party. I feel like that seems insane. Is the kid 17 or 14 or what? 17 here, I believe, right? Their 18th was in... Oh, no, 16, turning 17. I'm pretty sure the 18th was in August 2021, right? I think. So they would have been about 16 going on 17 here. It's like this interaction with a 16 going on 17-year-old, I don't care. And I mean, yeah, if there was worse when Glooby was younger, maybe, but this is like pretty benign.
Supportive of his art career, but was not comfortable with him sharing all of his drawings. Then,
because DemonMama has held this consistent boundary. We have seen, well, I mean, from what we've seen, sorry, I should say, there could be other piece of evidence that could be shown that would dispel this, but it seems like DemonMama has held a consistent boundary and said, hey, we're not doing anything, So, like, this interaction around 17, 16, it's like, I just don't see that she's out to do harm here. It just, that doesn't show through in the messages.
Setting boundaries previously, Glooby still tried to send me his own art, going so far as to say that he was of legal age in his state. I reinforced my boundary, and as I am now aware and will show shortly, he then progressed to lying about his age in order to avoid my boundary. With Fawn, the fact that Glooby shared his own art and asked to see Fawn's art was deliberately removed from the context of the so-called DM leaks to create a narrative and play into a grossly false groomer slander. Let me show you. While Fawn did share its own artwork with Glooby in a casual context, Fawn never knew Glooby's age and fairly assumed that because he was sharing his own artwork, that it was fine to share its own. Nothing outside of casually sharing the...
See, like, this is like the problem, though, isn't it? Why did Fawn not know Glooby's age? Why did you, knowing Glooby's age, not have more of an eye on this? Well, I mean, you obviously can't prove that Fawn didn't know the age. And there hasn't been evidence shown that indicates Fawn did know the age. So it's difficult to make a statement. But I don't really care about Fawn's actions. Like, I've seen what Fawn did. I care about what DemonMama was doing in relation to Fawn. I don't give a fuck about Fawn. Fawn isn't a content creator. It's just not that interesting. It's like, what do we say? Like, oh wow, this Fawn person's really bad. Okay, then what? Oh, they lose the YouTube channel they don't have? Like, what are we? What's even the discussion? So the issue here to me is like, why didn't Fawn know the age? Why didn't you have an eye on that? If that is the case, and yeah, why didn't you have an eye on it? And also, just this is the inevitable result of having like an open, sex-positive community that allows kids, right? Not like kids, but like below 18s. This is the inevitable outcome. Is that there's going to be adults and children who interact in ways that they probably shouldn't. And it may not even be that any adult is acting with malintent. Kids want to act older. I mean, like every teenager is desperate to be fucking over 18 or over 21 to drink or whatever the fuck. Yeah, everyone always wants to be older and do the shit that adults are doing when they're a fucking teenager. That's the obvious. Everyone knows that. It's like the most baseline understanding of growing up is that when you're a kid, you always want to be older and do the stuff that older people are doing. So if you let a bunch of kids into a community where there's a bunch of adults who are like, sex positive, here's my zoophile art. Yeah, the kids are going to want to be like, sex positive, here's my zoophile art. Yeah, no shit. So you probably shouldn't have kids here. But again, it's hard. I don't see the malintent from DemonMama. It's just these fucking idiots who think that you can have like these open communities with kids. It's fucking baffling. I understand having that, like with the with the Ava Chris Tyson stuff and Lava. I sort of almost understand how 6-8 years ago it was a bit more like, oh, kids are just sort of around online and sometimes they post shit in Discords that maybe they shouldn't and no one really gives a fuck. And no one's, I sort of get how that could have been the case. But when you're looking at like 2020, 2021, the rules were pretty set by this point. We all sort of got, don't have kids in your Discord, I feel like. But there's this weird, I don't know, I don't know, it's like a narcissistic, some kind of egotistical mindset that these anarchists and lefties have, where they're like, oh, no one gets it, the government doesn't get it, society doesn't get it, trans people need to be able to be themselves in communities of other queer people, and it's really important that queer youth growing up have a safe space, and all this shit. Right, where they think they can do a better job than everyone else. So they think that they're the safest place. I don't think it comes from a want to abuse kids in this case. It's just like some bizarre ego thing, and mixed with the commie shit.
Show you. While Fawn did share its own artwork with Glooby in a casual context, Fawn never knew Glooby's age and fairly assumed that because he was sharing his own artwork, that it was fine to share its own. Nothing outside of casually sharing their own artwork ever happened, and even Glooby in his original testimony admits that nothing nefarious or malicious occurred. On top of all of this did not happen in my server. I was not aware of such messages between Glooby and Fawn until recently, as I do not monitor my partner's private messages. If I had known that Glooby had sent art to Fawn, I would have ensured that Fawn knew, stopped, and had enforced similar boundaries. While it would have been wise and good for Fawn to ask for an ID until recently, as I do not monitor my partner's private messages. If I had known that Glooby had sent art to Fawn, I would have ensured that Fawn knew, stopped, and had enforced similar boundaries. While it would have been wise and good for Fawn to ask for an ID before sharing even cartoon not safe for work artwork that it had made, None of this matches with the genuinely insane slander being pushed by these communities, nor does any of it reflect
okay, wait. Not about, it's not even about asking for an ID. It's about asking for an age, right? Just asking for an age. If we could even see, here's something that would strengthen Fawn's case so much. If we saw Fawn ask for an age and get lied to, right? So it's not even about asking for an ID. It's just doing basic due diligence. When you're interacting in a sexual way with someone online, you should probably at least check, if you don't know already, hey, you're an adult, right? Probably don't interact in a sexual way with people online who you're not 100% sure are adults because you've had extensive conversations and you know who they... I would generally say that. Probably, steer away from sexual interactions online altogether, frankly. But regardless, at least ask in the beginning of the conversation, before it really goes anywhere, hey, are you an adult? Are you over 18? Feels like the bare minimum, really. But again, this is about Fawn, it's not about DemonMama. It's hard to hold DemonMama to account for every single action Fawn took, aside from a general negligence from DemonMama. But anyway.
On me, as I had nothing to do with that. This is the only evidence that is provided to any of the insanity that is thrown at my partner and weaponized to try and hurt me. Unless, of course, you count unrelated, laughably cropped, out of context, and literally years old edgy Twitter jokes as evidence. As a quick side note, my Discord server has never had not safe for work channels and has always had strict rules against posting not safe for work content. We have the strongest enforcement against not safe for work of any Discord I am aware of in this space, and unlike many other politics and politics adjacent servers, we have never had not safe for work channels or vent channels. Of course, as all Discords do, we rely on reports from users in order to become aware of incidents from across all channels on the server that may not have been directly observed by a mod.
So I didn't know this before. I didn't know this. I felt like it'd always been portrayed that DemonMama's server was just like a hive of NSFW content. But I didn't realize that they had this rule.
That said, our reports have always been promptly and carefully handled, and any serious issues that are reported are handled by...
Why are you talking like the sicko freak is normal? Because despite the fact that I think this person is an ugly, strange creature, I can engage like a normal human being for more than 5 minutes. I don't feel the need to come into a chat for the first time and spend every message spurging out like some sort of brain-damaged retard.
By my paid lead mod. This has been true for years. Volunteer chat mods have never had any obligations to handle reports, especially serious reports, which have been exceedingly rare in the first place. Volunteer mods are exactly that, volunteers, who we believe are chill enough to occasionally mute unruly chatters or random spammers. Moving on. Claims about me.
DM said Fawn's Twitter posts about Shota were jokes. Not sure you can take their word on anything. What DemonMama is saying there is not that Fawn is not into Shota. Obviously, DemonMama, none of DemonMama's community, none of Vosh's community, none of these lefty anarchist communities online give a fuck if someone is jerking off to cartoon children. They do not care, okay? When DemonMama is saying those tweets are jokes, I imagine what DemonMama is referring to are the tweets about how Fawn loves, like, Shota boy dick and stuff like that. I assume is what DemonMama is trying to dispel. He's trying to say, like, oh, listen, I know Fawn sounds like a pedophile in those tweets, but listen, it's not a proper pedophile, okay, guys? It's like joking, ha ha ha. That's what she's trying to do, okay?
Glooby worked for me on a contract basis for thumbnails. I was incredibly upfront that the pay would be based off a static percentage of the channel gross revenue, that we were a small channel, but that there was potential for growth. I never ever gave the impression that this was supposed to be a prime...
These people don't even see it as like an allegation that someone's into Lolly or Shota, right? They just think it's... They literally... They are... You know, these are turbo no kink shaming, right? You're not hurting anyone with Lolly. It's a cartoon, so no kink shaming, guys. Okay, that's this area of the internet.
primary job or a full-time job. It was explicitly contract work from the very beginning. I did not enforce a schedule or even strict deadlines. Throughout my work with Glooby, he was always effusively positive about our agreements, my accommodations for his disabilities, and even in his recent interview, he characterized our agreements as fair. It was only under pressure and leading questions from a curiously biased interviewer that he changed his tune on this. I wanted to share a couple of examples.
DemonMama has a feeder petting zoo full of deer. You think they care about lolly shit? Okay.
Examples of our interactions over the years. Here we go. Here is Glooby in June of 2022. Glooby says, "Hey, I have some not amazing news. I'm dealing with a lot."
Okay. So we're kind of like, we're through. This is like, that's like the end basically of the grooming allegations segment. And here's the thing, right? That's like, this is like a justified amount of time to spend on the grooming allegation segment, because the claims against DemonMama specifically were so thin in Tyler's video, and it occupied such a small part of the original video. Most of Tyler's original video is about wage theft, okay? For some fucking reason, because he wanted to tie it into the Xanderhall drama at the time or something. And so that was Sunday's criticism, was you focus too much on this wage theft shit, which you don't understand remotely, and you've done no research into, and you haven't done any of the extra legwork trying to verify the idea that Fawn was grooming this person or that DemonMama knew about it. You haven't put any effort into that. You've not done any of the work on that, so this would fall apart. And here we are. A little bit of scrutiny, a little bit of response from DemonMama, and it's so much weaker. But no reason, it did not need to be. It could have been about how DemonMama's created an... Could have been a whole thing about how DemonMama's server and community is an unsafe environment for children because they allow the free discussion of sexual topics, and while they don't allow NSFW content, it has led to interactions between the minor and adult, such as that with Fawn.
Like, sub, dono.
Thank you for the $4.20, Chrissy. Would have been a great argument, but he didn't do that, did he? He didn't do that. He's like, no, DemonMama's like complicit in Fawn's grooming, and a wage thief. Have you been keeping up with the stream Asian Andy and his insane squatter? It's pretty insane content. As far as I was aware, Asian Andy got rid of the squatter. They were gone.
A lot of neurological work issues and physical issues. I can barely hold my drawing pen. I'm having hallucinations and can barely fucking walk downstairs without vomiting or falling over. I keep having full body tremors that are starting to feel like seizures. I have constant heavy vertigo, and to top it all off, I can hardly type and speak. It just sucks, and I can't do anything about it yet, so I'm stuck like this for a bit. So I'm sorry if work is slow or not good. I'm really trying my best. It's also a reason, if you have even noticed, why I haven't been interacting with anyone really. All of this has been an increasing issue for my disease, and I don't want my friends and people I care about hearing me be sick and in pain 24/7. I respond, I have noticed you've been quiet lately. That's a very
chronic Lyme. Chronic Lyme. Very serious condition, chronic Lyme.
very good reason to do so. Again, you don't have to apologize. You've always been nothing short of awesome to me and in the work you do for me and this channel. Glooby then responds sometime later, a little over a month. Hey there, just wanted to update you on my situation. I'm still sick as fuck. I may have had my first seizure yesterday, so if I'm a little slow with responding in work, that could be why. It seems my disease is ramping up a bit, so it's a bit worrying, but I'll try my best. Generally, my quality of life is pretty shit right now, but I'm going to try my best. I reply with an affirmative emoji, and then I say, you let...
So I think we all could have guessed when Glooby was saying that the Lyme disease was so bad they couldn't do those dogshit little MS Paint drawings. Need I remind you, by the way, I was called an asshole, I was being... anti-Semitic remarks were being thrown my way repeatedly because I was saying this little Glooby fella was a lazy fuck making dog shit art for those thumbnails. Dog shit MS Paint art that took like 20 minutes for those thumbnails. I was crying about the pay. And everyone was acting like it was so crazy. Like, oh no, Glooby should be given millions of pounds for every single one of those thumbnails. But Glooby should be given infinite wealth for showing up and doing the bare fucking minimum sometimes. And for some reason, I was insane. I'm a Jew for pushing back on that. People were saying I'm greedy. I'm a capitalist. Like I don't want to pay anyone. I want to exploit people. And now look where we are. This chronic Lyme disease freak, desperately trying to get out of work. Get back to the thumbnail mines. Get back to the thumbnail mines. Get back on MS Paint. Start making me some more 3.5% CTR thumbnails, Glooby. Okay.
Let me know what works for you, and we can adapt and adjust accordingly. Your wellness comes first, and if we need to tag in some assistance on thumbnails or whatever...
3 more days, guys.
Thank you for the $2.
That's no biggie. You just let me know where you're at like this, and we'll work it out. Glooby then says, the current work need is all right for me currently. I'm just worried about being late or missing stuff. I'll try to be as open and responsive to tell you if need be. And then I respond with affirmative emojis. Then, later, we had this conversation. This was at the end of Glooby's contract work with the channel. Hey, DemonMama.
Thank you for the $10 ISU with the, I don't know how I would describe a super sticker. A super sticker of just sort of like a cartoon character with a pointy triangular nose. I assume because I was just playing Harvey Nagila and he's like blushing and looking up and being surprised. Thank you. And John Sanchez, thank you for the 1 gifted membership.
I wanted to talk to you about this. At this point, I think I'm too sick to work for you, and I don't want to drag you or your channel down because of this. It was hard to say this, but I want the best for you because I see how much you care and how much you want this stuff to work out, and I don't want to make it harder. I respond, you aren't dragging us down, but I will accept your resignation so long as you understand you have never dragged us down, and you have been nothing but a boon to me, my creations, and my team. Glooby says, or more stressful. I'm just having a bad day, but I've been thinking about this for a little bit. I respond with saying hug. Glooby responds saying hug. I say, I'm going to pay you for this month still, and if you need anything job-related or otherwise, please let me know. Glooby says, thank you. I will never forget what you've done for me and my family, and for me as an artist. You're the reason I met my...
So Glooby is wanting to stop working, and DemonMama is saying, I will continue paying. Literally, continuing to pay Glooby in a period where Glooby will not be working. And... Sorry, DemonMama was being accused of wage theft in the last video? Okay.
My partner and my friends. I respond with emojis, and then I say, Glooby, you've been nothing but a good friend to me since we met. Truly one of the coolest people I've ever met in my life. Glooby says, thank you, and same to you. I'm so sick of being sick all the damn time. That's why I'll preach this. If you're going out and about, wear bug spray.
Also, probably worth noting, Glooby is 19 by this point, I believe.
Please don't get Lyme disease or Bartonella or any tick-borne disease. It's so ass. I think that these interactions fairly characterize the positive nature of our work interactions all the way up until the end. During a recent interview, Glooby explicitly lied about me multiple times. Glooby claimed that I did not support a GoFundMe that he ran outside of a retweet. In truth, I was both the first and the largest donor to his GoFundMe. This is publicly available information, which I have screenshotted for you here in order to avoid sharing any unnecessary private info. Let's take a look. As you can see...
Yeah, so Glooby was saying in the last video, what was he saying to do with it, the tooth thing? It was Xander Hall and Cherry was the teeth issue, right? This was a different thing. This was different. Glooby had some other medical problem. But yeah, Glooby claimed that DemonMama did nothing to help. But no, here I can see $100 very clearly.
I am both the first donor and the largest donor. All of the donations that came in to this GoFundMe came after my retweet. So it was coming from my community. The support was coming from my community. As you can see, that is all of the donors. Additionally, it should be noted that this GoFundMe occurred a significant amount of time after Glooby was no longer doing contract work for my channel, and yet I still supported it financially and with my platform. I do not know why he would lie about this, except to try and make me look bad, especially because I know that Glooby knows that I donated to that. He ran the GoFundMe and took the money out of the GoFundMe. Later, Glooby claimed that I spent $5,000 getting my tongue split instead of paying my team.
Bruh. So gross. So nasty, dude. Also, Glooby acted like this was some... They didn't just say... am I crazy? Okay, I feel like I remember Glooby being like... They didn't just say it was a tongue split. Glooby was acting like it was some crazy custom body mod. Like it was some special novel thing. But it's just that, like, tongue splits are, like... They're not common, but it's, like, a pretty... I mean, yeah, common. I feel like they're pretty common as far as, like, weird body mods go. Tongue splits are, like... It's not some novel... Like, only one person has this thing. Like, it's not a new thing.
Because I know that Glooby knows that I donated to that. He ran the GoFundMe and...
Is maxed Waffen, high voltage sign, super chatted $19.99. You've been a bad guy Glooby, we are wringing you like a towel and drinking your to get a drop of grace.
Thank you, Riz Max Waffen, for the $19.99. Thank you. Very generous of you.
Took the money out of the GoFundMe. Later, Glooby claimed that I spent $5,000 getting my tongue split instead of paying my team. This is false in multiple ways. My tongue split was a gift from my partner. I have never reduced team pay for my own expenses. Additionally, my tongue split only cost approximately 1/10 of his claimed estimation. The actual cost was about $600 Canadian. I don't even know where he got the idea to place the price so high, because I am unaware of any body modder that charges so steeply for such a procedure.
So yeah, 5K sounds fucking crazy for a tongue split. I don't see that you would be paying 5K to get your tongue split. That sounds bizarre to me.
It seems to me, once again, to be a way of misleading viewers. Glooby then claims I also spent money on a Trippie Redd concert during a time when channel income was down. This was sometime after my tongue split. It was a birthday gift from my partner, and the total cost of the ticket was about $60. While channel revenue did go down after COVID lockdowns ended, this was not unique to my channel at all, and in fact it's been acknowledged publicly by YouTube. Because everyone on my team at the time was paid a percentage of channel revenue, pay went down for all of us. I have always run this show with an incredibly tight margin, and I have never put my own pay before team pay, ever. The idea I did so is a flat-out lie.
So yeah, Glooby had no evidence to suggest that this was the case, that there was wage theft or anything like that. It was just basically the pay went down, and around the same time, DemonMama got something that seemed expensive. It was literally like vibes based on, oh, lower pay, DemonMama getting something, I must be being stolen from. It was always a super weak allegation.
Always run this show with an incredibly tight margin, and I have never put my own pay before team pay, ever. The idea I did so is a flat-out lie. Finally, as mentioned before, I am now aware that Glooby lied not only to me, but to others about his age on multiple occasions. According to his interview, his 18th birthday is in August of 2021. Glooby told me that he was 18 in January of 2021 and again in July of 2021, which I can prove. As you can see here, Glooby in January of 2021 claims that he is 18. And again, in July of 2021, I say it might feed his ego, but it is really funny. And Glooby says it'll feed the horny minds including...
So, like, this is a tricky one, because on one hand, it's the adult's responsibility to make sure, but, like, you're pretty close to 18. You don't know when this person's exact birthday is, maybe, but, like, you know they're around that age, and then they start claiming to be 18. Like, would that set off alarm bells for most people? Like, Dingo's been 17 for a minute. I feel like I know when Dingo's birthday is, but if Dingo started claiming to be 18, am I going to be like, show me your ID right fucking now? Probably not. Like, if you know someone's around 17 and then they start claiming to be 18, you're going to be like, what? Are you really going to super interrogate it? I feel like Dingo's been 17 for years. Yeah, funny how that works, isn't it? No, I'm joking. No, he was 16 when he first showed up on Chud's stream, I'm pretty sure.
21 claims that he is 18. And again, in July of 2020.
Didn't they make which we see when he was 13? Yes. But this is 2021. Right, so this is 30th of January 2021. This is 7 months before they turn 18, and they're claiming to already be 18.
18. And again, in July of 2021. I say it might feed his ego, but...
This one, though, the thing is, this is a worrying screenshot, right? Why not care when I was 13, but now I'm 18? It's so fucking strange. Like, what are you alleging? Because as far as I'm aware, even in Glooby's interview, Glooby didn't claim that anything weird was happening between him and DemonMama when he was 13. That was never a claim. So this is a wild-ass message. But fuck, like, could Tyler not dig more into it? Does Tyler not have... You say Glooby can't give us any context to this message? Glooby couldn't give Tyler any context to this? This wasn't in the video? Glooby didn't go back and find this one? So we know what they're fucking talking about here? Like, what? It's crazy that this screenshot is coming from DemonMama and not the ones accusing DemonMama. Is it not?
He is 18. And again, in July of 2021. I say it might feed his ego, but it is really funny. And Glooby says it'll feed the horny minds, including mine. By the way, if you're worried about not safe for work stuff, I'm 18, so we vibin', cuz. In this message, he is referencing the fact that I had previously set boundaries with him about sending any sort of artwork that could be construed as not safe for work. I only ever offered contract thumbnail work to him given that he had communicated that he was 18 and was openly looking for starter work to build his profile as an artist. I wanted to be supportive of his aspirations as an artist. It's deeply upsetting to me to now know that Glooby repeatedly lied to me in order to try and circumvent my boundaries and get paid work from me and my channel. Just 2 weeks before this harassment campaign against me began, Glooby and I were speaking positively and supportively. We have only ever had one small issue, which was a crediting mistake that I made when we redid our YouTube auto descriptions. When I was made aware of the issue by Glooby, I resolved it within 13 minutes, and Glooby stated there was no bad feelings between us. I have always been reachable and open to Glooby, though I admit that I am significantly less so now after he publicly and knowingly lied about me to the direct monetary benefit of specific drama channels who have used his word to enact a violent and deranged campaign against me. I find it strange and unsettling that Glooby claims to have had issues with me or my community but never once raised any of these issues to me, to my mod team, or even to my lead mod, who is in a position to field issues with the community. Glooby was positively and regularly engaging in my Discord server, where he has over 21,000 messages sent, until literal days before he decided to lie about me and my family to drama channels. To wrap things up, those of you who are concerned viewers have been made victim of a grossly misleading moral panic with the explicit goal of damaging my reputation and career. The perpetrators of this campaign of harassment and false allegations have directly engaged in deliberate doxing and explosive death threats to myself, my family, and my friends. I had no desire to give any credence to a harassment campaign so violent and built on such
we get it, we get it.
deeply misrepresented evidence, especially because every response encourages obsessive stalkers to torment and target my family and friends more. I expect that certain people will continue their harassment campaigns.
Wasn't so bad when you were saying about how Xander wants to kill Keffels, though, was it?
By truth, but I do not intend to speak on this matter further. I hope that you as viewers will maintain a critical eye, especially to demonstrable serial liars and their drama farming monetization schemes that parasitically hurt others for their own gain while they go on violent and unhinged tirades.
Yeah, what happened to this? What happened to the... Is it this one that you played? What happened to this? This was... Remember this was the energy for Xanderhall? Remember that? Remember when she opened her stream with this? When she was talking about how Xanderhall wants to shoot his parents? Remember that? But now all of a sudden we care about obsessive drama channels that use everything for content and turn everything into a massive shit fight where horrible things happen. Right, okay.
This calculated harassment campaign has been deeply hurtful and harmful to me and those close to me. I cannot overstate the pain and disappointment that I feel at having endured weeks of the most vile false allegations and abuse. It has spiraled into hurting numerous people associated with me in an attempt to hurt me, and I cannot denounce this enough. That is all for now. Thank you, and goodbye.
Wow. I mean, that's sort of like a, bare minimum response there, but it works because Tyler's video is kind of ass. It was kind of like dog shit. It was kind of like a totally shit video. There's still plenty of room for DemonMama to be guilty of all sorts of shit here. And even there is criticism that you can levy even now with DemonMama's response. But Tyler's video was so fucking bad that there's so much room to just walk away from it. So, I mean, either Glooby's got to have something in the tank that makes DemonMama look real bad, or it's kind of going to I feel like DemonMama's just going to carry on, right? Don't let minors into your community of mentally stunted adults. Easy for us to say, but it's the mentally stunted adults running the community, so I don't think they quite grasp it. All right. Well, we've covered that. I feel like that's it. Total Sunday Vindication, Sunday 1, 4 more years. I would love to see a kill shot on DemonMama. It's just sadly not happening yet. Oh! Speaking of Westside Tyler. Did we see this? Have we got eyes on this? Hippy Dippy Recruitment Show. Coming up on the 22nd. Sunday the 22nd. Let's check this lineup. Peep this lineup real quick. Hosted by Westside Tyler. Okay, we know he's the host for the recruitment show. For those who don't know, the recruitment show, the Hippy Dippy Recruitment Show, is like, it's the B show. It's the retard show. It's for like people who suck and aren't entertaining and get no viewers. It's for them to get an opportunity to get onto the main show. Okay? And these are like, these are all legacy characters too. These are all like legacy characters and they're being relegated. It's the short boss. Yeah, it's the short boss of the short boss. Sonsol was on the recruitment show last week too. You know what I hate seeing? I hate seeing people who have been on real Hippy Dippies get relegated to the recruitment show. That's sad. That's really sad. That's really sad stuff. All right. So, Hippy Dippy Recruitment Show, hosted by Westside Tyler. Featuring... Is that...
Anyone heard from... What's that? Cho Ruiz? What is that? Anyone heard?
It's Cho Ruiz. Classic Twitch poll character. And he got top billing too, first billing. He got first billing. We got Cypher. No idea who the fuck that is. No idea who the fuck that is. Run that back. Run that one back real quick. Let's for the goat. For the
Anyone
goat.
heard from
Chorus.
what's that? Cho Ruiz. What does that mean?
Yeah, Chorus, a headliner here. Cypher. No idea who Cypher is. I assume Cypher is the black person, but Cypher sounds like a black person name on the internet. Alex Kirsch. No, actually, Crimson 60620 might be the black person. I feel like that's probably the black person. Alex Kirsch. This guy got like stomped in a debate, right? Who did this guy talk to? Also, is that him or is that Tyler? Or is that him down here? Who did Alex Kirsch lose to? Who did this guy get stomped by? He got absolutely raped by someone. It was like a really embarrassing display. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, I can't remember. Crimson 60620. Tomfoolery. Tomfoolery. The man himself. Actually, while we're still on this, while I'm still just, you know, leading into my next segment, Tom spoke about me the other day. Should we pull that up quickly? It's very brief.
That ended up combining with the Ukrainian version of the same thing.
All right, here we go. So this is a brief response. Also put out a video on Tom a few days ago, and someone came into his chat and mentioned it. Let's take a look.
Because
it's a very short clip here.
Just the church, and which being like very, but
Okay, here we go.
Russia, it has been caught being like very anti-Christian. They have literally murdered like pastors and priests and like assassinated them in Ukraine. They have they've done like all sorts of insane things to Christians, and Christians have been fairly heavily oppressed within Russia. Yet she defends Russia as this like free place for religion, and Ukraine's this horrible place that hates Christianity. It's insane.
Imperator Forge, a UGSS alternate history. Is that would make sense. That would make sense. Yeah, you are. Of course you are. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Is really dumb. But Kuihman reviewed your DEI talk from yesterday, and he said I was right. Well, if you're going to Kuihman for...
Okay, so what's his response? So, Raw, obviously, I feel like I remember Raw was in Tom's chat, and I pointed out Raw's message, and I said, wait, that's correct. That is... They were, like, defining a term Tom was using and saying Tom was using it wrong, I think. That's...
Kuihman reviewed your DEI talk from yesterday, and he said I was right. Well, if you're going to Kuihman for those sorts of answers, then I suppose there's not much use in even trying to debunk anything you're saying. But you did just run away as soon as I said that I was getting ready to pull you on, and as I was like getting ready to pull up the fucking sources and everything, but you ran, so I moved on to talk to somebody else instead. But well done, Kuihman. He's the one who really understands this sort of shit. He's that's the guy who's done a lot of hiring and worked for big corporations, and he's it looks like it's somewhat.
Okay, his internet dropped out. So his internet dropped there. Right? He got DDoSed mysteriously right then. And so the stream skips there. So he might have said more. I'm not sure. He might have said more. But me personally, when I'm explaining how Tom's retarded, I can explain what's wrong with his point and then insult him. I don't rely on posturing over being a Pizza Hut general manager and hiring women that I wanted to fuck to try and prove that I'm right on topics. I don't have to do that, personally. Tom, on the other hand, the highest achievement in his life is picking up some girl from a Pizza Hut interview. That's the proudest moment of this guy's fucking life. So he has to bring it up. He has to bring it up. But me personally, I would attack the point and then insult him, not just sit there and pretend that I've got some special life experience, some unique life experience because I was a fucking corporate drone, a literal grunt for some pizza franchise. It's fucking pathetic. Anyway, moving on. Back to the Hippy Dippy poster. Bryce Live is the next one on this list. Bryce Live, a little bit more of an unknown character. Not quite as well known, I don't think. I'm going to need to find something quickly. I didn't prepare it. We ran Bryce off the internet. Well, I should say Bug Squander ran Bryce off the internet for a good while. He's a boring fucker. He's a real boring fucker. Very slow, monotone, dragging voice. Here we go, here we go. So he never got anywhere in streaming. You won't have ever seen him on anything. He was never any note, never worth looking at. He was on Destiny stream like once or twice, but he was like literally a side character, nothing, sitting there droning on in his boring DGG tone. So this is a video, a picture that was made of Bryce though. This is why he left the internet for a bit. So Bryce was well known for always trying to interact with women in Discord. Whenever a woman would join the Discord, Bryce would start talking, start atting, would end up in their DMs, would be like, good morning, hi, morning, and all this stuff. And then eventually Bug's gone and made this image. But you can see Bryce here, two Bryces pointing to new female Discord user, cold DMs welcome. And then you've got some Rehypnol, some Jägermeister, some GHB, some Absolute, some Smirnoff, some Southern Comfort, some Jack. All classic tools of Bryce Live. And then we've got Lactoid, who is a panel regular. Lactoid might be our guy here, to be honest. Lactoid might be able to get one of these guys to spurg out by making them feel stupid. And Philco. Don't know, don't care. Do not know, do not care. I will not be listening to anything this person says. So yeah, excited for that, guys. Really excited for that. We will be covering that, obviously. We will be covering that. Classic characters here.